I'm Paul de Vera. I grew up as a Christian, and I grew up in a Bible-believing family, studied in a Christian school. But growing up, I was dealing with a suicidal tendency that was there because it came out of habit. So the doctors say it was because I saw it as a way of escape. And whenever there's problems, challenges, or whenever I failed a quiz, I moved down in the honor roll or honor list in the school, I would really escape the punishment by punishing myself. So it started with self-hurting, like slashing my wrist, attempting to jump off from school buildings, and eventually I found my niche in hanging myself. But the first time that I did it was in grade 4, using my jogging pants. And then it went on as a habit. Whenever there's problems, my main solution is really, I need to kill myself. Knowing also that by killing myself, I won't really get there. Like, I won't really kill myself. But it's in the hopes that people will give pity, people will love instead of rebuke or correct me. But I surrendered that to the Lord, and I thought I was over it until 2017 came. The problem there was I was assigned to be pastor in training in one of the CCF satellites. And then, during that time, my parents separated. That was really a trigger ever since I was a kid. So my solution back then was to pray, to do my quiet time, and I was doing that because I am a follower of Christ. But somehow all the thoughts just took over whatever reasoning I have. So I thought that by doing prayer and fasting, I could bring my parents back. So I said, I'm gonna do full fast. That was January 2017. And I started not eating, I started not drinking water. And funny thing is, I didn't know that I was already depressed. And so without eating, without nourishing myself, I was defenseless in all the things that the enemy could have done and was able to do. And that's what happened. On the night of January 11, I went home and I was so distraught already. My dad, who was with me during that time, was telling me that I was trying to talk to me. He was trying to clear things up with me. What's happening? Why aren't you talking? I wasn't responding. I was just so sad. And then I slept. Then the morning came. I woke up because of an alarm of my sister. And she changed her alarm. For example, 4 o'clock, she changed it to 4:30. But I was up 4 o'clock. And I don't know why. I don't even know how I was able to do it. I went down, took my belt, and hung myself at our staircase. I don't even remember doing all these things. And then, I just woke up one day in the hospital, and then they told me what happened. 4:30 a.m., my sister found me hanging lifeless. My tongue is out, and I really looked dead. My dad thought that he's going to take me to the morgue. I was a hopeless case. But somehow he felt that he needed to do CPR, try his hopes. And I did. I gave out a breath and they brought me to the hospital. Even in the hospital, doctors say, we don't want to touch your son because he's hopeless. They say, I'm gonna die. If you are going through something, the first thing you need to know is you need to bring people in. Because when your mind is already taken over by whatever your condition is, and then you keep it to yourself, you will destroy yourself in the long run. So you bring people in, you talk to people, you reach out, speak to your family, bring them in, allow them to battle with you, allow them to journey with you in the fight. And then, I think my greatest advice would be, you run to a doctor also. You consult. Sometimes you think that you don't need the shrink because you don't want to be branded as a crazy person. But sometimes, when we're really out and we're down and we don't have anything else, we need to have it checked. So I had that. I had been working on the physical side, but I worked also on the spiritual side. They work together. You don't get one without the other. They work together. And most of all, I think the greatest advice that I could give for people going through this is to really kneel down and tell it. Say it to God. Express to Him how hard it is. Express to Him how desperate you are for an answer. And don't leave your prayer room until you get that answer. Sometimes the answer is not, this is how I will heal you. The answer is not, boom, wala na yung struggle mo. The answer sometimes come in the form of a peace that will pass all understanding. Just after you pray and cry out, I had those things. I had those times, hours of really crying to the Lord. And then I would breathe and the struggle's not there anymore. And I would worship God. I would really tell God, Lord, you saved me. So please be with me. I will step out of this. I will face the world. But I know it can happen anytime. I want you to be with me. Don't leave me. Don't forsake me. I need you. And it was a battle with Him. For 2 years, now I've been off my medications. But I knew that it was a hard fight. But I wasn't fighting alone. I think that's what they should remember. The battle is not yours. It's God's. And you just have to fight with Him. You just have to believe that He is fighting for you. He is not against you. And He will send people in. He will send wisdom. He will send help. He will send hope. So don't lose hope because God is there. Keep the fight. Keep on fighting. Keep on struggling. And He will get you out of the cave. Get you out of the darkness. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You wait till you get out.